What do you do when somebody keeps trying to steal your joy? What do you do when someone continually squashes your happiness? I love that question. It's a great question, and it's something that one of my original Loving Your Home Club members asked 4 years ago. And my answer to that from 4 years ago is exactly the same as it would be today. So I will answer that for you. But first, I would really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that way you can keep up to date on all things loving your home. And remember, loving your home is really about loving yourself. So I'm Crystal Nurple. If you are new here, I am an organizing expert, professional organizer, and certified life coach. I'm also the founder of the Loving Your Home Club, which you can find out more about that at lovingyourhomeclub.com. But let's just go ahead and dive into answering that question. What do you do whenever someone tries to squash your joy and you just feel so powerless in that? Well, here's me from 4 years ago to answer that for you. I was going to respond to Casey's question, which I think is a really great, brave question to put out there too. And it's really, really hard to answer, right? Like, how do you prevent someone from stealing your joy? You know, how do you hang on to that joy when someone's trying to suck it out of you because of their being negative? And I don't remember the exact question, but I think that was pretty similar to what you asked. So here is, this is what I think. And this is my response, and it was just easier for me just to do a video, like I said, instead of typing it out because I feel like it's really long-winded. But the basic gist of it is your joy is your joy and nobody can steal it. So if you're feeling like someone is sucking the joy out of you, it's because you're giving it away and you're allowing them to do so. And you have control of whether you keep your joy or not. So no one can take that away from you. So don't give that person that power. When you start to put blame onto somebody else, like you're the reason that I am unhappy, all that does is give that power to that person. And that means you can never be happy again. If someone else is in control of your happiness and your joy, then that means they're in control. How are you going to control them to give you your joy and your happiness back? You can't control other people. So, and they can't control you. They cannot take your happiness away. It is yours to keep. It is yours to hold, and it's yours to throw away if you want to. So I'll give you a little scenario here just on a personal level. I probably figured this out about, I don't know, I'm just throwing this number out. I would say like 16, 17 years ago. And it was with my mom. So of course my mother, we're close. She's my mom. I love her dearly. But she also always struggled with being happy and giving her joy away. And she was trying to suck my joy away, or at least that's what I thought, until I took my power back and did not allow her to take that power. And she wasn't trying to be abusive or anything. I want to make sure I clarify that. I was on the phone with her one day, and this is what just like triggered it. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I am in control of me, and she is in control of herself, and we are two separate beings, and I can't make her happy. Okay, so I was on the phone. I answered the phone. I was in the middle of doing the dishes. The water was running in the sink. She started to upset me because she was so upset, unhappy about something at this point. I have absolutely no idea. I'm sure it had something to do with my dad. They've been divorced for a while, but her happiness was tied to other people, my dad. So she gave him the power. And then, so she stayed sad for a very long time because she let him be in charge of her happiness. No good. And she's worked through that and figured that out. But so anyway, so I'm on the phone with her and we're talking, and she's so upset, and oh my gosh, it just upsets me. It breaks your heart when someone you love is so upset. And there's nothing I can do to make her happy because again, she's in control of her own happiness. So I walk off to the bedroom. She's crying. I'm sure I started crying. I'm sitting in my bedroom, and I started to get really upset and just started getting really ticked off at her too, because I'm like, knock it off. So I remember being mad. I don't remember the conversation. I remember hanging up the phone, coming out into my kitchen. My freaking kitchen was flooded. I had about this much water in my kitchen running into the living room because I had gotten so distracted from being on the phone with my mom that I left the sink on and flooded the kitchen. I was so upset about that and about her
being upset. And then, right. So anyway, so that was a moment when I said, enough. Nobody is going to be, I was having a great day and she screwed it up for me, or so I thought, but it's because I let her. So right then and there, I realized that I cannot control anybody else. I cannot convince anybody else of how to feel or to have joy, and I'm not going to give that power away to anybody else either. So very long-winded, I apologize, but I just feel like it is such an important concept to finally grasp, that you are in charge of your joy and nobody else is. And man, that was such a relief when I finally figured that out and really believed it. So that's my answer. Nobody can take your joy. You are in charge of your joy and you hang on to it. And yeah, I know it's really hard when you're like talking about a coworker who you have to work with closely, or even if it's a spouse or a parent, someone you have to, or you feel like you have to be with all the time. They really have no control over your happiness or not. So just remember that your joy is yours and nobody can touch that. And when you start having all those yucky feelings like sad or mad or ticked off, your feelings are just an indicator of your thoughts. And just go back and remember, just what am I thinking about right now that's ticking me off? And then switch it up. I think we talked about this at the meeting this week. Hold a positive thought, whether you've been to leave it or not. Hold a positive thought for 17 seconds. And then try to hold it for another 17 seconds. And only think about the things that you love and that bring you joy and make you happy. And you're going to switch up your whole attitude. And it takes a lot of practice, but sometimes some people get it immediately. So that's my answer. And I do hope that you guys have a very joyful Christmas, and just ignore the haters. And it has nothing to do with you also. I always tell myself that they don't want to be the way that they are. They want to be happy too. Everybody wants to be happy. I don't care what anybody says. People want to be happy. They just haven't figured it out yet, and they've given their power away. That's all it is. You're giving your power away when you let someone else take your joy from you. So don't let anybody else be in charge. You're in charge, you know? You got this.